Hey nerds, welcome to Jerry Bear Reacts, and today we're going to recap Season 4 of the originals. Was wrapped up yesterday. It is Saturday. There is no recording. There is no reaction for today for the show. So we got to do the recap, which means tomorrow being Sunday, there's no show reactions on Sundays, just normal reactions. And then Monday will be the start of Season 5 of the originals, the 5th and final season. If you guys are new here, what we do after each finale is we recap the season in my own words, kind of recapping each of the episodes. We have an in memoriam, and then we have some Jer awards at the end for favorite episode, favorite scene, most heartbreaking scene, a funniest scene, favorite kiss, favorite kill, favorite character, and a running with maybe my favorite season, favorite finales, maybe some other info as well. So that's what we're going to do today. If you guys are new here, feel free to subscribe for daily content. If there's a day there is a reaction, there is links in the description box for the Patreon, the Twitch stream, everything in between. Over on the Patreon, all 79 episodes of the originals is live, as well as all 171 episodes of the Vampire Diaries. If that is your thing, if you want to watch it fully from start to finish, all hour-long episodes. If not, everything is here on YouTube. So with that out of the way, Jerry's next to us, and we're going to get into this. And let's go over and recap Season 4, because it was super emotional. I just got done watching it, literally 4 minutes ago exactly, and my eyes finally dried. So let's do it. So we start the season with Vincent in the new sanctuary. Remember, he kind of bought it off Marcel at the end of Season 3. Marcel looming overhead, and we learned that it's been 5 years since the Season 3 finale. Something that I actually learned, and I'll probably re-mention it because it's a note, is that Season 4 took place after Season 8 of the Vampire Diaries had ran in its entirety. Season 4 started. So spoilers for the Vampire Diaries, skip ahead 20 seconds or so. Now that we had already lost Steph and Salvatore, and that Damon and Elena already went about their lives to go live together. So that stuff had already happened, and now we're in this season, which plays a factor into some cameos later down the road. So we get introduced to some new characters, right? Vampires, wolves, witches all across the board. We see Marcel has undaggered Klaus, placed him in a boundary circle. The end of Season 3 kind of left him daggered, ready to go, and Klaus has been being tormented for 5 years while the Michelsons live in this fantasy land that Freya had created, while Haley goes and finds a Hope. So we see Hope, who now is a full-ass kid, by the way. Not a little baby anymore. It's an actual toddler. Terrifying. Haley gets word of the last werewolf pack she needs to find. At this point, she already has a cure for Freya. She has a witch for Rebecca. She just needs wolf venom to make a serum for Cole and Elijah, who were bitten by Marcel at the end of Season 3. She finds a wolf named Keelan, and she does just that. We get a badass scene with Haley turning into a wolf to kill a bunch of vampires, while Marcel uses Klaus to fight one of his old enemies. Alistair. Alistair has a full name. Hold on. Yeah. I had to go back and read it. Alistair Duquesne. Dude talked too much shit, though. Put him in this boundary circle. You know, Klaus comes out to fight him. Klaus ends up killing him with a sword. He bit some other folks before Marcel breaks his neck and kind of lets the people in New Orleans know the reason that Klaus isn't dead is because in case somebody gets bitten by a wolf, they can use Klaus's blood as the original hybrid to cure him. Uses him as leverage in case the Marcels, the Michelsons, ever come back. Elijah makes a full recovery after getting the serum from Freya. They make their way to get Klaus, and we get word of a new coven, leaving graffiti and markings all around the city, warning their arrival. Vincent tries to look for Adam, who's the lost boy of a new witch introduced as the name of Maxine. As Vincent tries to look for Adam, he encounters the same marking and a giant ball of light that attacks him. Vincent seems to know what this is at this point, but we don't know as the audience. Elijah tracks down Klaus, who has been chatting with the ghost Cammy, and Freya gets down there, and with the help of Haley, sets him free. Marcel's up there dog-walking Elijah at this point, and he ends up dog-walking Haley as well. Klaus stabs him with a Tunde knife, and they escape. As they're about to make their getaway, Marcel catches up, and Klaus kind of makes a bargain for them to leave New Orleans and never comes back. Marcel accepts, only with them recognizing and realizing the only reason they live is because Marcel allows it. Is the only reason. Episode 2 ends with Klaus getting to see his daughter for the first time in 5 years as Hope sleeps. Kick it off with episode 3. Klaus is now bonding with his daughter, who's also a painter. We don't get enough of it throughout the season, but they do have a moment painting together that just, it warms my heart. She takes off this necklace thing. She casts a cure. She cures a butterfly with a broken wing, showing how powerful she is. And she tells Klaus she feels a little cold. Doesn't have to do with the weather, though. Leads us back to Vincent and Marcel looking for missing kids. We get some backstory on Vincent and his life and his past and how the sacrifice stuff started and how these new things are kind of coming about. With Marcel's permission, they invite the Michelsons back because when they find these kids, there's 4 of them and 5 totems. One of the totems was a Michelson hairbrush. They save the 4 kids. Now they have to save Hope. During the episode, we get Cole and Rebecca parting ways for the moment. Leaving the family, that is. They're leaving together. The originals travel back to New Orleans to cure Hope, which is done, but a bunch of birds start falling out of the sky. She's not fully cured. We learn about the Hollow that's trying to come to our world and kind of take shit over. Vincent and Elijah team up to keep Kenny out, but to no prevail because Kenny kind of turned bad at this point. Officer Kenny. Remember Cammy's friend? He was a police officer, kind of a prick. Not really, he was a good guy. Klaus ends up teaming up with Marcel to take out the fanatics trying to sacrifice the kids. They kill them all, and as Kenny uses some voodoo to take Marcel, Klaus steps up and kills him without a hesitation. Down goes Officer Kenny. But they get transported to a blue portal, and after some more teamwork, they're freed. But the blue light, the Hollow, still haunts Hope's dreams and Marcel himself. Now, there was a moment where Elijah was willing to sacrifice these little kids in order to free Klaus, kind of showing his true intentions, his true purposes, that he'll do whatever it takes to get shit done, right? Much to the disapproval of Haley. The Hollow tries to anchor itself to both Marcel and Klaus. They go to try to kill each other to gain their power. They both fight each other. They both fight off visions. They make a whole fight. Freya makes a dagger that can kill Marcel as tensions with her and Keelan brew, right? Klaus goes after Marcel, draws a little bit of blood, but ultimately overcomes the Hollow, and he spares Marcel, just breaking his neck. Places Marcel in the same thing that Klaus was placed in for 5 years, and lo and behold, the blood of Marcel started growing a plant, the thorns of which can kill an original. We never actually get to see if that was true or not, but, well, yeah, we did. Take that back. We do eventually. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Michelsons then throw a fake party to sell a fake truce with Marcel. The goal is to invite the person working with the Hollow. They do all that. They killed a man named Dominic, but he's later resurrected with the Papa Tunde knife. They got to find these 4 bones. They got to find a finger bone, a pelvis, a femur, and a damn mandible. Okay, they get one of the pieces. Haley found one watching her dead parents die in a flashback. Sophia flexes her ability to kill Klaus, but she smoothly talked her way into a better deal. I'm sorry, Klaus talks his way into a better deal, getting all the thorn weapons from her. Move over to episode 7. We get Hope in the attic playing with toys from a box that belonged to Marcel, right? She eventually returns one of the toys to him, and the two bond. Until invaders attack the compound, Hope lets him free, and he protects her from harm as Klaus kills Dominic yet again. Klaus tells Marcel they have to work together, as well as Hope calling Marcel her friend. Meanwhile, Elijah forced the harvest ritual. He kills 4 young girls in cold blood, makes Vincent do the shit, and he uses the skull of Davina to power this ritual. There was a fake out of Freya's death, saved by Keelan, leading to Freya pushing her away so she doesn't get hurt. That ended with a big old smooch, by the way. Lastly, Sophia, who was stabbed with a Tunde knife at the start of the episode, is now encompassed by the Hollow. We get a backstory about the Hollow and how she was the one that actually created the werewolf curse. So basically, we get a werewolf origin in this season, which is really cool. We get a beautiful cameo from Alaric Saltzman helping look for bones. They all team together. Just working together, basically. Meanwhile, Spirit Davina tries to sacrifice Klaus, but is stopped by Hope. Rick offers a place for Hope at his school, and Elijah trying to give Marcel the dagger, but he couldn't. He ends up getting stabbed. So Elijah's death looks inevitable. They're trying to figure out a way around it, trying to put him back into a pendant. But the Hollow kind of gets word of this, puts a stop to it, and the pendant shatters. And it seems for a moment that Elijah is actually dead. So they think Elijah's actually gone, and Hope helps Freya try to look within the pendant. And he's there. He's just far away and in pain. It looks like he's behind the red door. Now, Freya tries to go in to get Elijah. Go through his memories, doesn't prevail. So they send Haley, no prevail. Haley ends up going behind the Red Room and sees this ultimate version of Elijah where he's glocking himself. They end up having to send Hope in, who's able to free Elijah from his own memory. But Haley saw enough of the monster that he truly is that kind of made her scared for a moment. Freya mentioned the only way to bring him back was through a sacrifice to either the Hollow or Marcel. Don't worry, it's not Marcel. Episode ends with Klaus telling Haley that Elijah is the best of them, and the Hollow raising Davina from the dead to get control over Cole. Now, Cole has to guard a totem powering the Hollow. He's kind of choosing Davina over his own family, but not really. He's not happy about it because he's in love with Davina. He has a chance to be with her again. But he goes to Hope, trying to help her de-link the Hollow in her human body, known as a Nadu, from Davina. So he's trying to get Hope to do this while trapping Marcel and Rebecca together in her house. They kind of talk about their past and a bunch of different things and more exposition about Sophia. And Klaus ends up catches Cole, beats his ass basically. He breaks the totem and then tries to dagger him. And Cole's really begging for his life for the simple fact that he wants to be with Davina. This is his one shot at happiness. This is the one person that anchors him, that makes him whole. What would you do, Klaus, if this was Cammy? You would feel the same way, and that awakens something in Klaus. He doesn't dagger him. So he lets Cole go. The tie was unlinked. And Nadu's human form is dead. Davina's still alive, but the Hollow makes its way into who? Hope. Makes its way into Hope. Cole and Davina ride off into the night sky, by the way. Sophia finally wakes, and she lets Marcel know that the Hollow is still alive. With Haley struggling with what she saw from Elijah and Hope's attitude change, she puts two and two together and kind of sees that the Hollow is alive and has taken over her daughter. Vincent has his book. He gets jumped. He loses the book. He then goes back. He kind of kills himself to go get his, to go figure out a way to end all this. He ends up getting the book back, and just as he tries to put down the Hollow for good, she breaks free, fully taking over Hope and returns to her domain in front of her accolades. They had a moment where everybody distracted Inadu in the Michelson compound. Salt Circle. Vincent had the upper hand, but the Hollow proved to be too powerful. Klaus closes the episode begging the main characters for help. Begging everybody. This includes Rebecca, Cole, Marcel, Sophia, Freya, Keelan, and Vincent. Everybody's in this room. Haley storms off to go find her daughter, saying she never should have brought her here in the first place to New Orleans. Never should have brought her back. She had to get help, to be cured in the beginning, remember? Vincent says he may know a way to save her, but it's going to be the end of the Michelson family, and it'll be the end of always and forever. What he means by that, like the Hollow had 4 separate pieces before, now needs 4 new pieces, and he plans to put them in 4 different vampires. The plan initially is going to be Klaus, Elijah, Rebecca, and Cole. They can't get a hold of Cole, so Freya kind of fakes out a vampire turn, right? She's going to drink vampire blood, kill herself, come back as a vampire, and be the 4th person, all for Hope. She doesn't want Hope to grow up like a mother, without a mother, like she did. So Cole ends up showing up. Small detail missed is when all 4 of them are imbued with the Hollow, they have to separate forever. They can't be near each other, ever. You would think Klaus can run away with Haley, but he can't, because he'd be close to Hope. If he's close to Hope, the Hollow's close to Hope, and will try to draw for that power. Elijah kind of pulls Klaus aside and tells him, when the time comes, you have to let me go. Because I have my own oath to you that I just want to make you good. I always want to be there for you. And if that comes, you have to let me go. Because Klaus knows he's going to go in a downward spiral of bloodshed and just madness without his daughter, without his family. Marcel goes with Sophia, kind of fakes out the Hollow who's inside of Hope, puts her to sleep. He escapes with Hope. Klaus and Elijah kill all the remaining acolytes for the Hollow. And they put the bracers that stop people from being able to use magic that they used on Cole, they used on Vincent, they used on Esther. They're not using on Hope. With Haley in the middle, the 4 originals surround Marcel there to watch, and Vincent and Freya perform the spell. And the hollow goes into all 4 of these original vampires. They all leave immediately. Elijah takes one last look. Well, Cole bounces to get back to Davina. Rebecca kind of looks around, thinking this will be her redemption. Elijah says not a chance. Elijah looks at Haley. One last look. Just to be clear real quick, there were goodbyes said. Haley says goodbye to Elijah, Klaus to Hope, and Haley, Rebecca to her brothers. Elijah had that moment with Klaus saying goodbye with the hug and all that other stuff. So the I love yous were passed. Elijah, one last look at Haley, bounces. Klaus wants to wait to make sure his daughter's okay. And Vincent's begging him to go, but Hope wakes up. And he looks at Hope and he says, Hope, I love you. And he leaves. And Hope's confused about what just happened, and she screams for her dad as he bounces. This kind of ends with Elijah pulls Marcel to the side to close it out and asks to be compelled to have his memories wiped of his family, of his devotion to his brother, of his devotion to his family. He wants to be compelled away from always and forever. So with Marcel being as powerful as he is, with Vincent's witch power, he's able to do just that. And we see all of Elijah's life flash before us, except for him throwing the quarters through the shop when he attacked Rose and Damon and Wikipedia. So much like Rick did to Elena about not forgetting Damon, but seeing only the bad in Damon, and how Sybil did with Damon's memories of Elena, vice versa. Kind of how they gave Stefan amnesia and all this other stuff. His memories are erased. So I kind of think at some point Marcel could possibly give those back to him if need be. Remember the whole thing with thinking back how when it happened to Elena, right? And then Rick lost his vampire abilities. Stuff just kind of came back naturally with how the strong pull with it was with Damon. And I think enough time with Elijah, if he's back around his family for whatever reason, that'll all come pouring back. If not for Marcel giving it back to him, but maybe just being around him. I think Marcel will eventually probably give those memories back to him, because we have a whole other season to go about with this family. Now the family's all apart. Rebecca's in New York. Marcel had an option to leave with Sophia. He declined it. Goes to New York. He's with Rebecca. Happy. Cole's in California, turning that giant-ass diamond into a necklace, some earrings, and a big-ass engagement ring to go home to Davina. Happy. Freya is going to work tirelessly to try to help resolve this, but she's in New Orleans, the last one in the Michelson compound. Happy. She wanted her whole life to be with her family, to be one of them, and now she's the last one left in their home. Vincent's in New Orleans, probably with Maxine and Adam. Happy. Cut to Elijah, who is in France, playing the piano. Happy. And a mysterious patron comes up and drops a tip in the tip jar, $100 bill. And we see it's Klaus, who looks back at his brother, smiling. And Elijah, confused with the look at the man he's looking at, like the look of, he feels like he knows him, but instead he gives a simple nod as a thank you for the generous tip, not knowing who his own brother is. And Klaus looks distraught, looking at his brother, and then a smile comes on his face. I think he knows that Elijah has been compelled in some way, shape, or form to forget about his family. I think he knows that Elijah has had something happen to him, but he's happy because he knows Elijah is free. And Elijah right now is happy. The only person we can't guarantee is happy right now is Klaus. That's how the season ends, and I put this in a different order, but we're also going to cut to Haley, who is at the Salvatore house with Alaric Saltzman, and we see Hope playing with other kids, and Alaric telling Haley how special these kids are at this school, learning magic and learning to control their abilities, like Professor X and the Xavier Institute for the Gifted. But the final shot is Klaus happy that his brother's happy. And that's how the season ends. Long-winded for only 13 episodes, but it was a very impactful season. And I kind of mentioned it in the ending of the last episode. It would have been cool to have a Damon cameo there at the end. Obviously, you don't have to have Elena there. It would have been cool to see nonetheless. I mean, we kind of had an Elena cameo already. Well, a Nina cameo when she was Talia, and we had a Stefan cameo. It'd been cool to see Damon there at the Salvatore house. Not to say it won't happen at any point, talking to Rick, but it would be cool to see. So we're gonna do my favorite episodes before I start crying again. So let's get into the Jer Awards, and we'll wrap this up. For the Jer Awards, for favorite episode, here are your nominees. Episode 1, Gather Up the Killers. Episode 7, High Water and a Devil's Daughter. Episode 11, A Spirit Here That Won't Be Broken. Episode 12, The Voodoo Child. Episode 13, A Feast of All Sinners. And the winner for favorite episode, believe it or not, is episode 1. My favorite season premiere between every show that I have watched so far, other than Invincible, is this right here. Gather Up the Killers. We had Klaus with the sword being undaggered, the conversations with him and Marcel. We had Haley turning into a wolf, having the moment with Elijah and the family coming back together, and the vow at the end to go get Klaus. It was a beautiful, perfect episode. Episode 13 would be the runner-up. It was a beautiful finale, super emotional. Episode 1 was a banger. Favorite scene from episode 1, Klaus killing people with the sword and chains like Spawn. Also from episode 1, Haley turning into a wolf. Episode 2, Klaus getting to see Hope after 5 years. Episode 3, Hope and Klaus bonding. Episode 7, Marcel and Hope bonding. Episode 8, Hope stopping Davina from killing Klaus. I think my favorite scene, I'm actually going to backtrack what I had highlighted for my initial answer. I think I'm going to go episode 3, Hope and Klaus bonding. He's finally getting to spend time with his daughter. They paint together. They have that home moment. Next up be Marcel and Hope bonding, because that little scene, brother and sister, was pretty beautiful. Most heartbreaking scene, episode 5, Elijah's conversation with Marcel, telling him you are no longer welcome or wanted. Episode 7, Marcel saying you can't hate someone you've loved for so long. Episode 9, Elijah's fake death. Episode 10, Haley and Elijah's red door. Episode 11, Cole begging for his life from Klaus. Episode 12, Klaus begging his family to help save Hope. Episode 13, Elijah looking at Klaus with no memory of him. The winner, very clearly for most heartbreaking scene, is Season 4, Episode 13, Elijah not knowing who Klaus was as he plays the piano in France. Is what really got the, like, I had somber tears. My eyes were full. That made them fully come out of my brain. Pain is what that was. Funniest scene, both from episode 7, Hope saying, I'm 7, not stupid, in episode 7. But the winner is Klaus telling Hope there is zero evidence that Elijah is not hanging in the attic, hanging upside down, sleeping as a bat. Really got a big pop out of me. That's my funniest scene of the season. Favorite kiss, episode 1, Elijah and Haley. Episode 13, Elijah and Haley. Episode 7, Freya and Keelan. I'm sorry, episode 7. That's what I said. Yeah, episode 11, Rebecca and Marcel. My favorite kiss of the entire season 4 is Freya and Keelan, enemies to lovers. Kind of had that building for a long time from that first moment where I thought they said make out. From that moment forward, I saw it. I saw the connection, and they teased it, and we finally had that big moment with the big music popping. It was a beautiful kiss. Favorite kill, episode 1, Klaus killing Alistair with a sword. Episode 7, Klaus slapping the head off Dominic. Episode 13, Elijah and Klaus killing all the acolytes with a Molotov cocktail. The winner's episode 1, Klaus killing Alistair Duquesne with the sword. I thought that shit was sick. That was an amazing kill. That wraps up the Jer Awards. Basically, favorite character so far. Favorite character for season 4. I almost gave it to Hope. She wasn't in it too much. Vincent plays a strong role. Freya has a strong pull in this. As does Marcel. Elijah and Klaus are always the front runners. I think more than likely this season came down to Marcel and Elijah. We saw a lot of character development on both ends, but I really have to give it to Klaus because you see his character kind of doing a full 180, and every time he's around Hope, he turns into You know, it's like a kid seeing a puppy dog. He turns into a big softie. So I think Klaus is going to win. Favorite character for season 4. Favorite quote would have to be Marcel's "You can't hate someone you love for so long," and that was from episode 9 with him and episode 7. Sorry, with him and Hope bonding. Favorite season so far? I still think maybe season 3 is my favorite. I'll have to take time to wait on it. In the final recap of the entire show, or the final Jer Awards, we'll actually give that one. I do think it is my favorite finale so far, though. It's pretty powerful. And then to wrap this up, we're going to do our In Memoriam. All right? Let's get to it. In loving memory, rest in peace to the following. Short list so far. Alistair Duquesne, the Eurotrash vampires Haley killed. Witch guy Vincent killed. Driver of the nice car. CeeLo Green and the other witches, who I thought were shamans. William Kinney. Officer Kinney. The innocent illusion people that Klaus killed. The hollow servants that attacked Josh and Freya. The hollow servants that Klaus and Haley killed. Dominic, like 4 times. The hollow servants Klaus and Vincent killed. The hollow servants Haley and Freya killed. The hollow servants Rebecca, Klaus, and Marcel killed. Spirit Jackson. Inadu's human form. The hollow servants, the accolades that Marcel killed protecting Vincent. The accolades, the hollow servants that Klaus and Elijah killed, and the accolade hollow servants that Klaus and Elijah killed with the Molotov cocktail. So, no real deaths this season other than those servants. They were kind of cannon fodder outside of Alistair Duquesne and Will Kinney. I thought Sophia died there for a second, but nonetheless, again, this is farewell to the 7-year-old toddler version of Hope, and it may be the character of Sophia as well. For that, for the Michelsons being together, all of it. It was a phenomenal season. Start to finish. It was a very emotional season. And if there was no season 5, this would be a perfect way to end the show with that moment right there. It would feel a little anticlimactic. But if you want to leave it open-ended, you could have went this way. I thought this was really good. So with that out of the way, that is your season 4 recap. Again, all 79 episodes are on Patreon as well here on YouTube, depending on whatever you're into. What is that? Was that 150 total episodes now between... I'm sorry, 250 total episodes now between the Vampire Diaries and the originals, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to double check my math real quick. 250. So yeah, all that is there. There's going to have links to everything in the description box down below. Before I look up for the playlist, that you guys know, no video tomorrow, pain, but Monday, the season 5 premiere. That in mind, links and everything down here, playlist up on screen. As always, stay cute, stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.